Hey, good morning, good morning. We got FOMC today. So, I was actually expecting price to already start moving down by now. You know, the daily candlestick is still 0%. So I took a pre-London sell over here. I thought this would be the sell to keep moving price down below, you know, like 33.21. But now this is really obvious here what the market is doing. It's waiting. It's gonna be waiting for this data to come out. It's gonna be waiting. We got what we got today? We got ADP today, 8:15. So 15 minutes into the New York session, we already got some fireworks. And we got FOMC statement, obviously, and what else? Bank of Japan policy rate. Whoa, today is a red folder day. Man, today you gotta be careful, especially leading up into that New York session time. I think that the last volume pushes, I'm guessing, is going to be pre-New York. The last like very clean volume pushes are gonna be pre-New York because it's gonna be moving before non-farm payroll like ADP non-farm. That's what I'm thinking. And I'm thinking for the London session, we're just gonna hold this range. Price is not going to do anything here. You can see we got major resistance points up over here. We got support. It's created like some nice range down over here though. This is like about, you know, like a 24 pip range, but nothing too obvious. So what I'm going to say is if you look at PA from yesterday, man, the only clean setups were on Monday. Like in terms of general direction and volume, Monday was clean. Tuesday was like already getting into a range. So it's just been trading the trenches here Monday and Tuesday. But you see since Tuesday, we're still moving sideways over here. You can look at this PA. The market is waiting for something. All this is anticipation for Powell to come on and ADP numbers. And rate decision is going to remain unchanged, but overall direction is going to be bearish. FOMC is late though, gonna be a long day. Yeah, I mean, it's late. It's gonna be a long day for sure. For sure. I think it's gonna, you know, gold right now is in a range of about 120 pips. It's most likely gonna hold this range. It's most likely gonna hold that range for some time here. Hey, good morning, Ricardo. Morning, Architect. Morning, Ellie. We got Woods as always in the chat since yesterday. What's good, my guy? Good morning, Ellie. Pure Peak in the chat. Got Rodrigo. Morning, Mr. Rashid. Good morning, Nightbot. Nightbot is reminding everybody to drink water and stop trading like a raisin while you're waiting for a setup over here. Stop trading like a raisin. Water is crucial for your brain. If you wake up in the morning and you're not chugging water, then your brain is gonna be like a raisin, and you know, then it's like even uncomfortable. It's even uncomfortable trading. I was in a trade on German 40, got 0.8%. Happy. Oh, nice. Very well done. Yeah, this morning we got quite a bit of volume coming here for the sells. I'm telling you, like these sells, you've seen I've been looking for these sells. These sells are really awesome. We got really nice sells. Wait, actually, let me see my spreadsheet here. Yeah, past 3 trades were just sells. Got one cheeky little buy here, which was a loss, unfortunately. And then, yeah, for the most part, I've just been locking in these sells. But now it's like, now because price is not trending anymore, you know, it's like, what are we going to do? Are we going to move up? Are we going to move down? Because this bearish pressure, you can see it's come to kind of like a small standstill here as price is in this sort of like upwards channel. Right? So what I'm assuming is today we're going to see something. I don't know if it's going to fake out above here first, but I'm expecting it to come downwards. I'm expecting a big dump over here, and we're just going to get through these daily support levels. Possibly target like on a daily time frame, maybe around, you know, like 32.80. I'm expecting a big flip. This candlestick is at 0.12%, so it hasn't had like any moves yet. Hey chat, when I'm speaking, does the camera kind of lag a bit? Is my voice in line with the camera? Because on my end, it looks like it's lagging, but when I watch the stream back, it looks fine. So does it look like my camera is lagging as I'm speaking over here, or is it in line? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. Testing 1 2, testing 1 2. What's good? What's good? Okay, no, you're good. All right, nice, awesome. Yeah, it does. It looks funny on my end. Xauusd BE got fake out down on the 1 minute consolidation, then trade up to get BE. Buy, profit. Oh, this was you took a sell here and you close your position. 1 loss, 1 win on the day so far. Oh no, it looks like another trade here. What the hell is this? Sell. Oh, that's inside bar. I think that's an indicator. Hey, good morning, Moj. Ooh, look, price is moving up here. Price is starting to move up here a bit. Let's look at our key levels. We got some resistance by 33.30. Sheesh, difficult range. Very difficult range. You know, this week so far, I've been getting trades inside the gulag, but I think this is the gulag of gulags here right now, because just look at a 15-minute. It's pretty compressed. There's not a lot of room above this highs. It's about like, you know, 26 pips. No trend as well. There's no direction. Markets have been neutral right now. Or rather, it is neutral. Waiting for FOMC. Gold need to touch 33.40. 33.40 is by like some kind of supply zone, eh? Yeah, 33.40 here. Got 33.40. But how is it gonna come up there, you know? It's like the way it's moving now, it's not giving me confidence. I like to see London session move a bit more with direction, with some purpose. Right now we have like resistance up over here. You know, we got support down over here, and this is where we're currently sitting. But this will form a nice little sell opportunity though. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 bullish candles in a row. Could form a nice sell opportunity. Yeah, man, it's just been an insane month. This month feels like it's been 2 months. I've done trading worth of 2 months in this 1 month. Insane. I just want the month to end. Honestly, at this point, I just want the month to end. I already got 49 trades this month. I just kind of wanted to end. How many more days do we have here? Oh, we got 1 more day. Man, thank God. July. Holy. You think I was planning on going on vacation with all these trades, but now we're still going to be trading August. Yeah, I'm going to be trading August, and we'll see how August is, because I do like the momentum. I have for sure over 120 trades. Yeah, you got a lot of trades. You got loads of trades. Because your trades come in quick, you know. You get a trade here, and then you get a next trade right here. My trade, it comes in sessionally. So pre-London, London, pre-New York. Yeah, it's been a good year. We got tired of winning. Now I got tired of being disciplined. Man, it takes so much discipline to show up on the charts and do the same thing over and over again. but it's just because, you know, this month the market has been somewhat predictive. You know, for the London session, I caught onto it a bit too late. I realized London only moves with the trend this month. But for the pre-sessions and especially pre-NY, man, pre-NY has been very predictive. Very predictive at around that 7 a.m. time, 7 a.m. Eastern. Very predictive. Because, you know, like every session has a different move, right? Like Asia sometimes can move down, then London can move up, and then your pre-NY can move down. So it's that sort of thing. So it's been really nice. It's been really good so far. But I can already see today is going to be a little bit neutral. If we haven't yet started moving since the pre-London time. So now we're just going to... Yeah, just going to wait and see what happens here. I would actually much prefer if price would to start to move down. But what can happen is we can get a pricing in of the move downwards later. Price might continue to move up and then dump downwards. I went out the window. Oh. Vicom on New York session as well. Man, I don't know what world you live in, but you know, that's like streaming 24/7. That's not possible. I'm only human, man. I get tired too. You know, sometimes when you stream, you kind of just want to watch price action, you know? You just watch how price is forming and you kind of lock in a bit better sometimes. Got faked out and hit a sell. Just keep doing if it is an L as well. Oh, what happened here? Yeah, that's cause price is not moving. We gonna sell that sheet. Oh, who said that back then? That was Locks. But yeah, you didn't get the sell over here because price said, no, we're not moving anywhere. We're not going to go anywhere now. Maybe it was a good idea to wait for some kind of candlestick to close, maybe. Just being a bit cautious. You could have waited for a candle like this to close. And then wait for the next candlestick to re-break the previous lows. Because right now, this daily here is like at a 0%. So that's what I also thought. I thought we could start moving here. This pre-London time, I guess. But it's not moving. It's not yet committed. The daily candle has not yet committed. We need a commitment of 100% on the daily, but it's not doing anything. Oh, gold futures open with a gap over here. This is probably on the... Oh, this is a 15-minute time frame. Or maybe it was a glitch with the broker or something. Got a laser show going on here. Man, this is how my charts used to look like in year one. 100%. 100%. Here come the zones. You got so many zones in here, so many trend lines. It's gonna create you a lot of analysis paralysis. Analysis paralysis. Because, you know, this for you makes sense. You're gonna make this make sense in your head. In your mind, you're gonna make this make sense. But what if the market is just moving? What if the market is just moving, Neo? And all that you're seeing here is just what you want to see. What if whatever it did, you would always find a reason? And the matrix would keep you locked in. Then what? Then you're going to be stuck in here. You're going to be stuck in all this confusion. Look at this, man. How can you even trade with all these zones? So many zones here. Why no zones up here? Price is all the way up here. Why is all the zones back over here? I think like a good thing to do is to every day is to clean your charts. You know, you gotta come on to TradingView. You got like a bin over here on the bottom left hand side, and then just go on remove drawings. You know, every day just make a good habit to remove those drawings, because those drawings are gonna make you have a bias. You know, you're gonna already see those the next day, and you're gonna be using the same analysis from yesterday. But you see, yesterday has nothing to do with today. Man, today's a whole new other day. You know, it's a whole new variable coming in. We got Powell speaking. We got ADP. It's a whole different thing. That's the thing, you know, with like swing trades. Man, swing traders, they have this analysis on there for weeks, but when they're getting triggered in, it's a whole different market. Times have changed. You know, the market moves quickly. Like times, it's just the same way if you're a journalist, you know how news gets old in journalism very, very fast. It's the same way in the market, man. Like every day is a new day. So it just depends. Every moment is unique. And right now, this very unique moment over here, you know, we could either start moving up, we could start moving down. It's all probabilities. This is just like 50-50. It's 50-50. If you say it should move up to 33.40, you know, there's like maybe 50-50 here. Because price is just moving currently right now sideways. So it could move up or it could move down. You are only having to execute. You know, the job of a trader is to execute. It's not to predict. We sometimes, you know, you can have these like confluences, which are really good to have, psychological marks and all of that stuff. But you want to do it in a way that you're not predicting. All right, so you think that price can go up there for XY reasons, but you don't want to put too much emphasis on this. You know, we can just say like, okay, so 33.40 is a magnet because maybe there's a supply zone over here that we can tap into. But yeah, I think you're gonna need a lot of confidence to say such things. You know, I only say such things like this when I'm in line, for me at least, when I'm in line with news. When I look at my macro fundamentals and I can say, okay, you know, we got this come out here. I think price can definitely reach that psychological mark. You know, because those are the sentiments of the market. But if it's just purely based on technicals, because there's a supply zone here and ICT said that there's a SMT here from last weekend, then I don't know about that. I don't know about that because, you know, the market is moving based off fundamentals. So we got to wait and see here. We're going to wait and see. Asia stocks mixed as investors brace for tariff deadline. All right, so Asian stocks struggle for clear direction on Wednesday with investors cautious about trade talks between the US and China. Ended without any substantive agreement ahead of the Federal Reserve policy announcement. So they did not have any substantive agreement between the US and China, creating some uncertainty. The federal, all right, let's see what else this is. Key economic reports. Yeah, we got corporate earnings during the next few days. Donald Trump's August 1st tariff deadline. Federal Reserve expected to leave interest rates unchanged at its policy meeting later on Wednesday, though it could see rare dissent by some central bank officials in favor of lowering borrowing costs. I think the most important thing is not going to be the interest rates not changing. We already know it's not going to change. I think it's going to be more of what Powell has to say. With the labor market conditioning near full employment. All right, let's see. Some officials are concerned that tariffs could drive higher inflation expectations, leading to a more persistent price pressures rather than a one-off hit. Fed should be in a position to cut rates at September meeting. September meeting, yeah, that should be a higher probability for rate cuts in September. We should be definitely above 50%. As we come into September, we got about 66%. But what I am guessing, chat, is I'm looking at October and I'm saying October is going to be 50 basis point cut in October. I also don't think September we're going to get anything. Because, you know, because of these tariffs, you know, these tariffs are causing a lot of uncertainty. So, like, it's a cat and mouse game between Powell and Trump, you know, like, what are you going to do? What am I going to do? And that sort of thing. So, I think he's going to keep waiting for Trump to move his next chess piece on the board. So, the longer he can wait, I think the better. But I'm guessing like a October and 50 basis point cut. But, of course, you know, this is always... It's not like it's already set in stone that he's gonna do in October. It also depends on what Trump does. Of course, it depends on what the economy is looking like. But I would love to see it happen already in October. I think last year we started getting them in October. We're definitely September. We're definitely getting in there, but I think this year and last year are a completely different environment, economic environment. So October should be good. For that rate cut, then we're gonna see volume come in. Hopefully that gives price on gold some direction, because you know we all want to see all-time highs on gold, correct? Like we all want to see 3,500. So that's most likely gonna come in rate cuts, hopefully before the year ends. All-time highs. The Bank of Japan is expected to keep policy unchanged on Thursday, and the focus will be on comments to gauge when the next rate increase will come after a trade deal between Japan and the US cleared the way for the bank to resume rate hikes. Oh, interesting. So it looks like the yen most likely is going to hold here. It's going to hold here for some time. Maybe that's why GJ's been acting the way GJ's been acting. Below 2200. Oh, below is it? No, below 200. Wait, what's going on here? Go on the daily time frame. Yeah, below 200. Below 200. That's why. It's because I think it's also being kind of like uncertain here with the yen. Because the yen is due to hike rates. That's what it seems like the yen wants to do. It wants to hike its rates. That's what it's been doing of late. It's been hiking rates. So pound has been kind of struggling to get above 200 with that anticipation. Let's see. Japan government downgraded its view on exports. Asian stocks steady as investors brave for tariff deadline. Some officials are concerned that tariffs could drive high inflation expectation. Oh, okay. No, we already covered this. Let's see. Gold stays close to a 3-week low. US and China are continuing discussions to extend a tariff truce set to expire in 2 weeks. President Trump expected to make the final decision on any extension. Well, the Fed is widely expected to keep rates unchanged. Markets will focus on Chair Powell's press conference for any signals of a possible rate cut in September. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, we're waiting over here. Gold moving? Yeah, gold's not moving anywhere, man. Like, gold is having volatile moves with... Oh, that's a nice little push. It's having these little volatiles push within the range. It's moving for a scalper. Yeah, for a scalper, it's definitely moving. It's definitely moving within this range. But overall, it's... yeah, it's kind of difficult. Difficult. Nice little push here, though. As I said, like for me personally, I want to see more sells on gold. You can also see how these sells here are playing out a lot faster than the buys. Buys took a long time to come up here. Man, look at how fast the sells happened. How fast the sells are. That's a nice, actually, that's a nice little swing entry here. Create like a support. Respected resistance. Stop loss above resistance. Break of the candle wick lows. Clean range on the left hand side down towards like 32.23. Nice. This is something that I would have loved to take. You know, I would love to take this if I had a bit more bias here for gold. On the daily. Daily right now is plus 0.03. I wasn't tempted to take it, but the SMA scared you off. Yeah, the SMAs over there, they're just confluence. So if they're in the way, just ignore them. Because remember, at the end of the day, price action is king. Like, sure, you might have some reactions, but it should continue moving in that direction based off of the levels that price is breaking. That's the problem with indicators, is that they scare you off. You know, that's the number one reason people don't use indicators, is because they either scare you away from price action or they're just too lagging. You know, they're sometimes just way too behind. So, you know, indicator like this is just like a cherry on the cake. You know, if you see it, awesome. If you don't see it, then, you know, it is what it is. Just ignore it. See, like something like this looks beautiful, like candlestick break above here, but the range is not so big. But anyway, like the confluence, beautiful liquidity grab below here, break above the SMA. Look at how it's respecting SMA. So if you see it, you see it, and it looks really nice. It should give you confidence, especially if like you're planning on holding the trade longer. You're like, wow, okay, so this move, I actually think this could be a running move. And we got the SMAs. Let's go. Who is attempting to overthrow my throne? Hey, is this a new Game of Thrones game that's coming out soon? I think it's a free game. If you're into Game of Thrones, they use the real characters in it, which is quite interesting. It's kind of weird playing a game with the actual characters of Game of Thrones. If you're really into Game of Thrones, I think there's one coming out soon. I've never really been into Game of Thrones. You know, in uni, my roommate loved Game of Thrones. I always thought the intros were freaking long. Bloody long intro. I did end up watching it though. I think I did end up finishing it, but I didn't really... It took me a while to even like get into it. Super mainstream, you know, when things are so mainstream, you're like, oh man, I don't like things which are so mainstream. Game of Thrones is so mainstream. It created a monoculture, you know, like monoculture is something we haven't had like since a very long time now, because there's so much entertainment. But man, like I would always like to reminisce back in the days. Like back in the days, we all knew similar things because there was not that much content. So you could talk to somebody about something and they'll most likely know what you're talking about. But nowadays, it's super hard to have a monoculture because there's so much stuff going on. Like, man, even YouTube. Y'all probably watch YouTubers I have no idea of that maybe you think are super big and popular because I have millions of followers, but you'll be surprised, man. You'll be surprised nobody knows. But Game of Thrones is like a monoculture moment. I did not take this, was just watching. This is a... Is it a 1 minute play? Yeah, it looks like 1 minute console. Ooh, little fakey. No, is it fakey? Oh shit, yeah, that was a fakey. That was a small little liquidity hunt. Small little liquidity hunt. Maybe you could like... How tight was this? Like, it's a very tight stop loss. Sometimes you could just give it more room as well. Yeah, it's kind of a tricky one here. Like, if the range is big enough and you want to be extra safe, you could use these highs. Beautiful range here towards support. But yeah, that's quite unfortunate. Looks like the market just hunted people here. It knew people's stop losses were above this level, so it targeted them before price started to move in their favor. That's what we have for today. Fake out into real move. I got caught today. So from 1 minute, best to wait for fake out. Yeah, I've been waiting. That's what I've been doing too. Like for me, I saw this fake out. You see here? I was like, man, this is a fake out. This is like a consolidation play with a fake out. Little barcoding. So when I saw this, I was like, man, this is it. Candlestick closed. I'm like, man, this is fakey right here. Because overall, I'm bearish. You know, I'm still expecting more selling pressure than anything else. Yeah, I think that was it. It didn't even have top wicks here on the 5 minute candles. No top wicks, retested, and then continue to move down. But it's nice if you get that fake out confluence. So something like this, ooh, that would be, let's say if you're not in yet, that would be really nice to say, okay, you know, that's a fake out right here. Oh, stop loss is pretty big though. Maybe like 16 pips. You can put it up here if you want as well. Still fine. Or you could like do it here. depending on how you feel about the overall move. And then, yeah, that push about a 1 to 2. Nice little fake out confluence, though. So you see this and you're like, yep, that's the one. That's it. That Leonardo DiCaprio pointing meme. Gonna be like, yeah, that's it. Right over here. Man, the fake outs are awesome. I love fake out confluence. What do we say to the god of death? I love Game of Thrones. I watched it 3 times. I have it all on my hard drive because I'm sure I'll watch again the 4th time. It's the best thing. Me and my wife watched the home... Oh, in the home cinema. Tempting me to get that projector. Yeah, sometimes projector would be nice. Yeah, talking about mainstream, but you're so hyped for GTA. There are some things which are allowed. There are some things. GTA, you know, obviously GTA is going to be mainstream. It's such a popular game. Man, it costs more to make that game than it is the biggest building in the world. That's how much anticipation there is for this game, you know? So we're going to see what that PS5 hardware is going to be capable with this game. Man, you know, PlayStation is actually such a scam. It's such a scam, you know? Because for that price, I don't think they're ever going to make anything as close to PC, because if you're paying like $800 for a PlayStation 5, the hardware is never gonna compete to what PC is capable of, unless you get mad AI to upscale things and make things really look unique and really good, and that's been patented by Sony. But right now, Nvidia is leading that race, and that's why Nvidia stock was just skyrocketing, man. Like, really, that technology that they introduced is so amazing. And PlayStation, Sony is lagging behind for days. But you know, it's also quite expensive. People are not going to buy a console if it costs them like so much money. So they're got, you know, PS7 is 6. PS6 is coming out in 2027, 2028. I wonder how big the difference is going to be. I'm sure it's not going to be that much. But yeah, it should be good. GTA should be interesting. They're giving me PTSD talking about these runners. Run, run, run.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
Why are you running? You guys see that sell we took yesterday? Man, that was a nice sell. That was such an awesome sell over here. That was such an awesome sell. Look at this. It filled the range just like we anticipated. And you know, this is a concept that it's not new. We've been talking about this for quite some time, especially on the simulations. When you see like beautiful ranges like this and you get it stuck in earlier, that's usually like a good sign for you that price can keep running, but it just needs to get through that level. Typically, if market picks a direction, it should get through that level. Nonetheless, this was like a little shotgun entry right over here. Candlestick closed below support, broke the previous lows. Maybe you had your stop loss above that candle. Little shotgun entry here. Clean range on the downside. You know, and then price just came in. Trading with the overall trend. Such a nice entry confirmation. People ask me why I don't hold them, even though I know. But don't worry why I don't hold them. Worry about yourself. You know, worry about yourself. You know, I'm just showing you what I would do if, let's say, I was in drawdown or I need a boost in my PNL or something of the sort. Like, that's when I know that my strategy is capable of this. So that's when I'm going to get confidence to actually hold my trades. But it's good to know these things, you know. But for me, I'm quite a humble person. You know, I've been disciplined and humbled by the market enough not to be greedy. Even though I know what it's capable of, like, I will not be greedy. My little scalps here and there, 1-2% per day, like, that's enough for me. That's my bread and butter, you know. You don't always have to hit a home run. But it's good to at least know that you have the option to, that you can actually get that trade. So at the end of the day, it's like you got to know the limits of your strategy and what they're capable of. So when you get into a pinch, that you can get yourself out of the pinch. You know, some people, they have these crazy strategies where they're going to win more times. But if they take one loss, it's 10 losses to one win. If you take 2 losses, 20 losses, you know, it's then in a situation like that, you know, then you got to ask yourself, how can you get yourself out of that pinch? You know, let's say you trade like this, and that's your take profit, and that's your stop loss. So you're always thinking about how can you get yourself out of a pinch? You know, let's say you take 2 back-to-back losses like this. So that means you got to do this. Can you do this consistently again? Just to get back to, you know, break even. But now you're going to have to do that 2 times. Because you take 2 losses. So you're going to have to do that 2 times. So you got to see with the strategy, how much effort do you need to put in to get yourself out of the pinch? It's not always about winning. It's also about losing. Before you win, you have to learn how to lose. So if you're a bad loser, you can't be a good winner. That's what we favored for today. Fake out into real move. I got caught today. So from 1 minute, best to wait. Yeah, best to wait for fakey. Especially if it's one to the downside. Really nice here. And that one also had additional confluence because it lined up with the 5-minute swing entry model. That was actually looking quite beautiful. Damn, we got accumulation, fake out, 5-minute entry model, swing towards the downside. I guess that's when it pays to actually have like 2 charts on. So you can have a 1-minute chart on, and then you can have like on this side. On this side, you could have the 5-minute. You could have the 5-minute here. And then the 1-minute here. And then you can kind of like see how those 2 setups align. Yeah, then it's gonna be sick. Then it just gives you confluence. Just give you confluence. I personally like to have the full screen. So like this is also not super necessary, but this, it's if you want that additional clarity, maybe if you're doing a sort of challenge or something, and you know you want to have the best trades, maybe you could consider some kind of like double confirmations like this. And say, okay, I'm going to be taking these specific kind of trades. But again, how many times does this even happen, you know? That you get a swing entry model with a fake out and a consolidation play at the same time. It could be probably one of those times where you're just sitting on the chart, not really expecting much. But if you see it, nicely lines up, awesome. You can increase risk. You can increase the risk factor. The fear factor. Man, Fear Factor used to be such an awesome show back in the days. Joe Rogan. I used to binge watch Fear Factor like in the other time I was binge watching Fear Factor and a Prison Break. Really OG old shows. What do you think about this? Didn't hit the 65%. Oh yeah, I think we covered that one. Posted my trades in NY session yesterday. Want to know your thoughts? Yeah, I think this is the one, right? We covered this one already. We just said like price was, you know, price is consolidating here. There's no confirmation. The daily candlestick was not trending. You know, you have FOMC today. I think you're trading what this is an Asia session. This was like pre-London. No, this was pre-London. Yeah, I would say it's a good trade. It's a good trade. Maybe people are a lot more cautious today because of the FOMC. Because what we're expecting is markets to consolidate. So I don't know, if you had the option, you could have waited for maybe a candle. A shotgun entry for a candle to close below support first and then re-break the lows as an additional confirmation. But yeah, I mean like on any other day, I feel like this could have played out. Maybe if this even happened like yesterday, it could have played out. There you go. Tall Trader got a naughty list. A naughty list warning. I haven't seen that one from Nightbot in a while. Yeah, but this would have been a break of the previous lows to keep moving down shotgun entry. I guess that would be the safer option. But yeah, just be very cautious today. Be very cautious. Unless you want to whip. Michael Schofield. I learned something's better than losing. I've had every PlayStation and Xbox, not the newest Xbox though. Only good thing coming out of Xbox is Halo. Halo and Fusion Frenzy. It's way more expensive to build a PC equivalent to a PS5? Yes. Yeah, my brother's got a PC which cost him like about close to $10,000. I think it cost him like 9,000, somewhere around there, close to 10,000. He's got all the components, top 8 components in the world. Bloody hell, pretty expensive. And you know, like, cause he likes a lot of graphic stuff. You can game on 4K. So price is creating another consolidation here. Might do a little break above 33.28 to move upwards towards like 33.30. Nice little SMA confluence in there too. Probably coming up to retest these sellers, because price put the sellers in some bit of profit here, about like, you know, 34 pips of profit. Live in Asia and you can get good bits for cheap, way cheaper than 10K. Yeah, no, 100%. If you want, you can get a good PC build for like about 3K, $3,000, $2,000, actually like $2,000 even, $2,000, 1,800, something like that. Pretty decent. You won't be ray tracing, but you'll be playing ultra. Maybe 2K. Powell in the building. Powell in the building. 30 minutes here for price to scale. I mean, we got a 30-minute candle here. A little bit of a wick fill situation. I guess kind of a confluence for that 1-minute breaky. That price can go upwards. Can move slowly upwards here. Little 13.1 pip stop loss. Ooh, look at that. Nice. Heading up here. Heading up here to 33.30. Up about 13 pips. Yeah, I just did about a 1-to-1 so far. It's a cheeky 1-to-1 from this accumulation. No fake out confluence though. Bang bang TP approached. Oh, you got a buy here? That was a setup. I mean, you know, the thing about these moves is you're just gonna see them come out of somewhere, right? So whenever you see an extension like this, just know that that was a setup here. Just know there was a probability for a move like this happening here. So you gotta ask yourself, like, how, why, and you know, why, how is this possible? You know, why? Why is this happening here? Why is price moving up like this? If you then upgrade wisely, it's a fraction of the cost of the next ones. Yes. I don't blabber for nothing. Because of currency strength meter and momentum told me. Oh, nice. That's awesome. I think what told me here was these candlesticks. That's all that I look for. These little consolidation breakouts. Beautiful. Little SMA confluence. We got the crossover here. But how can you use a currency strength meter? What currency strength meter is this? Because this is taking, you know, if it's this one, all this is doing is taking the daily volume. You know, so if you got more daily candlesticks bearish on dollar, then, you know, gold is going to be, should be moving up bullish. So just taking the daily. But like something like this, you know, it's too spread out. It's like having a shotgun for a sniper's job. You know, there's too much spray over there. But what you need is a little refinement, you know, like tight little execution here, tight little clean stop loss. You got your own for MT4. Yeah, it must be a lower time frame one. We got some profit taking here now. Look at this. We got the retailers coming out here. They're like, ooh, let me secure some profit now. Because, you know, this is like clockwork. This happens literally like every day. Every day you're going to have these moves. And then like you're going to see how price moves from these areas. And then you're going to notice such things. And you're going to be like, yeah, that's profit taking over here. People just got out of the market. You see how much money like people trade? Look, in this 1 minute time frame, you know, this is not cheap. To make price move this far down, like this was about how much pip move was that? Like about 17 pips. Man, this is not cheap. It's probably hundreds of millions of dollars in these moves. You know, it's a lot of money here. Hundreds of millions of dollars. For you think, oh, it's like 22 pips, but there's so much money being traded here. Especially these lower time frame traders, how they keep getting in and out of positions like this. And I'm sure there's strategies to gauge overextensions. And then that's where you also see sellers. But you know, when you take a profit, it's the same as selling. So profit taking is the same as selling. So then it creates this. Doesn't necessarily mean sellers came into the market. And it has that reaction. It's all dumb money concepts. Because retail traders, as much as we want to trade smart money, it's very difficult unless you're reading on the fundamentals. That's the only way I've seen for a retail trader it's possible to do smart money concepts. It has nothing to do with technical analysis, because on technicals you can't really see anything. And a lot of the tools that you're getting for free or buying for cheap, they're not going to show you like the true volume and that sort of thing. So I think the closest you're going to get to smart money as a retail trader, for me personally, I think it's reading the fundamentals. Because for me, like, let's say if we get rate cuts happen today and gold starts to move up, I already know tomorrow I'm buying, because price is probably going to be already up by the pre-sessions like 0.30%, maybe in 0.50%. So I know where the smart money is. Smart money at that point is moving up bullish. So might as well just get on where the price and the candles are heading towards. Now everything else is lagging. It's lagging indicator. We can only make decisions based off of what candlesticks do. Hey, good morning trading. Hope you're feeling better. What's today's gold bias so far? I think today is bearish. I'm expecting bearish. I don't know if it's gonna fake out though first. It might do a little fakey above and then come downwards. But I'm anticipating price to move down. Right now, it's like 50-50. We're kind of like in a no trade zone. USD/JPY and GBP/USD are the most moved currency forex in forex. And you can see where they want to have the dollar. Feeling better, brother, and here trying to keep my habits of a trader. Nice. I mean, yeah, the good thing about trading is it shouldn't take that much energy if you're just looking at the charts. But if you're not feeling well, then don't have to be on the charts. I'm trying to remember the days I was learning to trade and I was sick. Was I still looking at charts? I was probably during that time watching a lot of videos when I fell ill. Yeah, because looking at charts, definitely, yeah, it's like being outside, kind of, it's like putting your mentality a little bit outside. So I understand it can be a bit draining if you're a little ill. I used to watch a lot of videos. Where I took my sell, you can always watch my trades over here. I put them in the signals channel on Discord. So you can just look at this. You can look for yourself here. You can see the entry, the time frame. You can see what time the signal was sent. All timing is in Eastern timing. So you can just do that. The important is to start enjoying it. I really have fun trading. Nice. Yeah, you gotta enjoy it. You got to enjoy it as much as you can. Of course, you will always enjoy it, but you just trick your brain to enjoy it somehow. I'm anticipating price is going to come back down here. So we just actually had a accumulation breakout to the top side. And I'm anticipating market's going to come to take out the buyers here again. It's going to come and take these buyers out. I'm also at the top of the range. Right now, what are the highs? Expecting it to possibly come back to retest the bottom of the range here. And then maybe move up again. And then you're going to move down. Then it's gonna move up. So just trading what you see, don't trade what you feel, just trade what you see. Some of us feel that price should skyrocket up, but the market is telling us otherwise. It's telling us that we're moving sideways here. So if we're top of the sideways movement, then I guess it makes sense, especially with these little rejection wicks over here, that if you get your confirmations, price should move down. Got some clean range on the 5-minute time frame now. Then there's these other smaller moves which happen in between, the little retracements. But overall direction should be heading towards the downside. Should be. Barcoding here on the 15 a little bit. Let's see what GJ is doing. Yeah, GJ is on its way down. I guess GJ is really yen driven right now. There's some fundamentals at play. That's why we're not breaking above 200. Let's see, GJ's got range here about, like 14 pips below there. You have above here about, like 16.5 pips. If it can break above 197,900, then it can keep moving up here. I think price can keep moving up. But that's going to be the key level on pound yen. But yeah, for sells, there's definitely a kind of option here. About like 12.5 pips. Daily candle is down 0.14%. So we're seeing some kind of like bearish action overall. So for buys, you need to break above some key resistance over there, which it might be trying to do. Small little inverted head and shoulders here too. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Volume came in, hovering by 197,900. PA is not a king, it's a crab today. Yes. Yeah, and this is... It's a turtle soup today. Made me wonder, how isn't she trading 8 or 6, 9 figures yet if these fundamentals are predictable? How isn't she trading? Who are we talking about? Oh, Oivik, have you seen this clip from this FX YouTuber called Jess Ramos? Say yes to Jess or whatever, saying CPI, FOMC, and FFP are predictable and she never's been wrong. Oh, no, I haven't seen that. Man, but NFP being predictable is very, it's very difficult. I used to follow this one guy called Eds, trading with Eds, and he used to do the NFP and he used to have like pretty nice win rates on the NFP. But in terms of it being predictable, I think that's like not possible because, you know, the non-farm payroll, even if you're right about the direction, sometimes you can get caught out in a fake out. So when she says Xauusd is right, what is she doing? Because, you know, sometimes, let's say if price is moving down, it can just move down, correct? But sometimes if it wants to move down, it can fake up first and then move down. So, you know, she has to be doing something like either getting it on the volume when it enters, or maybe she's getting it earlier on before the day starts so she doesn't trade exactly when the news comes out, or she's waiting for the fake out. But, you know, in either way you're going to get like a difference, because even if she's waiting before, sometimes before there's a pricing in, there's a false move just the same way as it happens in real time before the actual move, and sometimes it just moves up. So, you know, it's impossible to always get it right. You have to be somewhere. You know, you can't be all over the place all at once. You know, that's impossible. So you definitely got to take a L. And L is just around the corner for sure. In terms of FOMC, yeah, for me, I like FOMC predictability only if we get cuts, rate cuts. You know, again, she talks about FOMC, but why is she talking about FOMC? Because FOMC has to do with interest rates. But interest rates are not getting cut every day. We get maybe like 1-2 interest rate cuts in a year. So that means she's waiting for FOMC for a long time. The FOMC one. The NFP she does every month. But I've already explained how that cannot be possible to always be correct. Yeah, I call cap. Too many variables. But I did know this one guy. His name was Eds, and he was not quite a fundamental dude, but somehow he used to get these really nice streaks on NFP. You know, but looking back at it now, maybe if I review the channel and his trades, maybe then I'm gonna see that something was not entirely honest, you know, but back then it looked very legit. Am I allowed to post a short link here? Oh no, it's not from our channel, just a random FX channel taking clips. Yeah, no, you can't send links in here. But in any case, you know. In any case. What's your view on today's Fed news? Powell's gonna come on and he's maybe gonna talk about the economy, obviously, for you know, there's been a lot of drama between Powell and Trump. So this statement is going to be quite interesting. Also, like, regarding all this drama that's been going on between them, if he's going to slip up and say maybe something additional, I think that's what people are really looking forward to. Especially Trump ended his press conference, like he was giving a press statement saying that Powell knows what he has to do, that he's not going to fire Powell, and he knows that he just has to cut rates. You know, like, Trump plays with wording like this. He made it seem like Powell is going to cut rates. So I think there's a lot of anticipation for this next FOMC. But, you know, I think Trump was just waffling as always, and Powell is not going to deviate from his usual plans, which is not changing anything. So I don't think it's going to change anything, and I think price today is just going to be volatile. But again, listen to what he says. You know, we have to let the man speak. He might say something new. He might say something that we did not expect. So you can already see there's some sort of anticipation here in the market. Look at this consolidation, sideways movement, lots of choppiness. So we must just let the man speak. Overall market strength has now shrunk a lot. There's probably a lot of orders in here. If you had like a book map, anybody has a book map. If you have a book map, there's probably a book map telling you there's a bunch of orders in here. But price is just moving sideways. And that's what accumulation is. You know, this thing is about to explode somewhere. Might have some volatile moves coming in a bit. Yeah, gold seems sideways to me so far. Am I wrong? What makes you feel it's bearish? I'm thinking it's bearish for later on, not for now. Right now, it's not bearish. Even look at yesterday's PA. So you see we have the kill zones on. And you got your Asia, London, New York session in red. There's no direction since yesterday. That's why I love the kill zones. It kind of makes it easier to see what the sessions have been doing. So we're definitely moving sideways. Yesterday, I was more bearish. Remember I took this little sell over here? I was bearish yesterday because, you know, previous day was pretty bearish. And then the day before that was also pretty bearish. So I also took a sell over here. I took a sell somewhere. No, this was Friday. This was Friday. This is Monday. Took a sell here on Monday. And then I took a sell here somewhere here on Tuesday. Because we're still getting some momentum to the downside. But now here on Wednesday is moving sideways. Trump is a massive manipulator. He was like that all his life and got him here he is today. I personally like because he points out the basic facts people don't like to say. Yeah, I don't know if you see the interview with Ursula and Trump, and she admitted how it was before the unfair to the USA. Oh no, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen that interview. Yeah, I like because he says these things. And just being himself, I guess. It's nice it's nice to have someone just be themselves, you know, not to worry and walk on eggshells all the time. You know, when you're walking with people with eggshells, you don't know when you're gonna hurt their feelings. So you gotta like talk a bit differently. The CME Fed Watch tool shows 96% probability of no rate cut in July. Yes. Oh, yes. Yeah, exactly. Oh, I gave the feedback to the wrong one. Isn't this the one from today? Or are you talking about the one yesterday? Trendline strategy. I saw big liquidity grab and fake out of that zone. 62 pips running and TP partially. Nice trade. This was a trendline breakout system, which looks like a very clean trend line. So you see why this worked so nicely for you? Because it's such a clean analysis here. It's so simple that you didn't even force anything. You know, this just to me looks like a textbook setup. And you got your fake out confluence right above here. Yeah, I think this was, even without this line over here that you put, I feel like that just that one single line here was sufficient. And also this is gold versus the dollar, and this was yesterday when price was still moving down. I've still been having a bearish bias here on gold, so I think like all these things lined up beautifully for you. Also got nice little SMA confluence. Look at this, kind of close below, close SMA. You got a crossover right over here, got some touches. Man, look at how clean this is. You can put this in a textbook. You know, so these are the kind of setups that you want to get. The ones which you don't have to even think a lot. You know, even just one line is enough. And then just understanding the overall environment, the overall context of the trade is also quite important. That's awesome, man. 62 pip drop, break even. Let's see this. This is the first trade in New York session. Price almost hit 65% mark. When the price break a support and then not close below SL to BE when price around 30 pips. Pretty nice trade though. Yeah, a little break of support to the downside. Very clean. Very clean. I assume this was a 1 minute fake out consolidation break right over here. I see the 5 minute also broke slightly below it. I'm pretty sure if you go on the 1 minute, there must have been something here. A little fake out confluence to push upwards. And then you got profit taking, and then you got the swing entry model coming next. This was yesterday. This was yesterday. This, you said New York. Yeah, here it is. It's right here. So let's go on the 1 minute. Yeah, I told ya. I knew there was something in there. I could feel it, Goldie. So you got like, 16 pip back inside the range. Little accumulation breakout over here. Beautiful zero drawdown trade. And then on the 5 minute, you could see the fake out confluence. This candlestick on your broker actually broke lower. Your broker actually broke that wick lower. My broker didn't break that wick. But yeah, now you got a beautiful distribution there. You got profit taking from this move. Run about a 1 to 2.8 risk to reward. Maximum stops. Maybe if you're still scalping, maximum stops 16.5 pips. If you want to be safe, below here, still a pretty good move into the swing entry model at the break of the lows. So at least you call it one. Into the swing entry model down over there. And if you look at what's been happening here, this time we had similar thing happen, but it was like a fake out on the 1 minute first, liquidity grab, and then the real move happened off the accumulation, but with a 5 minute swing. The 5 minute swing was a lot cleaner for this. And then you got one more break above here. Consolidation break. Retracement to the upside. Looks like even this one kind of played out a little bit here. There's one little here with a fake out confluence too. Look at that candlestick move up like this. And then the next one just engulfed the previous candles. Close below support. And then distribute to the downside. So like a small little move that happened here as well. So this is like the same thing that I think with my trade as well. From this morning was similar thing like this. You see this little moves, aggressive push to the upside, and then swing down engulfing candlesticks such as this. Gives a nice little confluence for a sell position. And that's what we got happen here too. Look at that. So yeah, I think it was a pretty good move. So far it is moving. Interestingly enough, it is moving somewhere. At least a space for price to move. In this general area. This is awesome. So every move has its own reason on a different time frame as well. Yes. Whenever there's a move, it's a move. Someone can make money from these moves. There's always buyers and sellers in the market making money. Buyers make money, sellers make money. So you can read the story of candlesticks that way. Most people they're a bit more two-dimensional. I guess to the trading, they're only gonna see this. But there's a lot more that happens even before leading up in something like this. There could be something that happened here, which could give you an edge to understanding what's going to happen next. Correct? So for example, this morning I avoided a fake out because of understanding something like this. So this morning I came onto the chart a bit late. Literally I missed this move by, I think it was 1 or 2 minutes. So if I did not have my cup of water this morning, then I would have caught this trade. So it was like a little break over here I wanted to catch. But then I was like, man, I've already missed this move. And also I saw the daily was not moving anywhere. It was consolidating. And we had FOMC today. So I was like, man, this breakout right here is most likely just not going to be a good one. Or I'm just going to avoid it entirely. So there's a little break outside of this massive accumulation here. It's like some kind of big accumulation area over here. But then I already saw I missed one move here. So I'm reading the context of where price is coming from. And this is a general context of the day to determine whether I think that's going to be a good trade or a bad trade. So you see, at the end of the day, you can't get away from the skill. If you want to learn how to trade and make money in the markets, you have to learn the skill. There is no shortcut. You're going to have to go through trials and tribulations. And the market's going to say that maybe you're ready or maybe you're not ready. You think you overdid with the chat XP today? What you got right now? 250. Oh, yeah. You've been working on this for a while now. Just with the trend line, I sold the top. You thought it was a breakout? What trend line? What you talking about? It's actually, you know, for this setup here that Derek posted, even if you remove the trend line, I would also get into a trade like this. But this is a 5-minute time frame though. But it looks like actually if you remove the trend line, it's like we're both getting into the same trade, but with a different reason. I would be getting off manipulation over here. Accumulation, manipulation to re-break the lows to move down. But you'd be getting in because of trend line. So we're getting in exactly the same place. Different reasons. Oh, this trade. You also took the same trade as Derek then. You all had the same analysis or what? But it's good. I mean, it was pretty obvious trend line, so there was a probability for something to happen here. There was a lot of confluence. Even for those who don't trade trend line. No. Jeez, look at this barcode here. We got SMA crossover, kiss of death on the 15-minute, right underneath candle. Look at how it's compressing. Sheesh. For sure people are getting whipped in this area. It's like a... It's like if you overtrade and you don't understand the time when volume is supposed to be coming in, then you're going to get the whips. The reason this has been so clean so far, but even though there's a one fake out happened here with the London Open, it's just because of it's a London Open. It's a pretty key time to be in the market. These are the areas you can actually get into more whips if you're not careful. Wait, let me see. This is... Yeah, this is my trade at 155 here, and then price moved down 34 pips roughly. Asia had a swing here, little fake out confluence on Asia too. Beautiful. Oh, that was nice. Oh, this was the trend line here. There we go. That was the Asia session trend line. So this is what the guy drew on Discord. Candlestick broke below here. Little shotgun entry as well. Price came down. No clean range though. This is like a volume based move. Little fake out confluence above there. And then break of the lows to keep coming down. You see, with volume based moves, we can get through these levels. Even though we have like level support, their volume is coming in. Got a fake out above this area here and then price push down. Got a little V-shaped reversal back into the zone. Price moved downward again. Kind of like aggressive. You know, very aggressive. EA over here. Nice, beautiful V-shaped reversal. You see how markets love to mirror themselves? Right over here. So look at this. Left-hand side, price moved down. Right-hand side, price moved up. Clean candlesticks. It's a pretty stress-free move. And then now it's chopping up. A little fakey below here. This accumulation. Because this is another accumulation people thought could be breaking out from. But once it did like a little fake out over here. So manipulate, accumulation, manipulation. Maybe you think this is distribution, but back into the zone. Back into the gulag it goes. And overall, that's because price is not going anywhere. 33.33, which has actually been quite an interesting psychological mark for this week. 33.33. If you've noticed, we've been hitting 33.33 quite a bit. And then we got 33.21 now. 33.33 is holding. Put this down here like this. Turn off the kill zones. That's the one, bro. Perfect explanation. Thank you. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, that was a good trade. That was a really good trade. You can't even see the way, look at the way it reacted. There was so much confluence there. Like people saw like the similar entries, but differently. Like beautiful reaction. Gold looks like it's trying to flirt with 33.33 to get a break above. Probably just a fake out. Because it's been faking out a lot since yesterday. If you notice, like every time we create new higher highs, it pulls down. So look at this higher high, pull down, pull down, pull down, pull down, pull down. Here it pulled down. So it's creating new higher high here as well. So what essentially it's been doing is filling this range. There's like some clean candlestick bodies. But look at the way it's doing it. It's doing it in like an impossible way to trade. For most people, this will be too difficult to like stay on the bull. You know, like riding a bull here, it's like gonna shake you off. For most people, they're getting shaked off every time they're trying to get like some form of a breakout to fill that range. But now the range is filled. Your range is already filled. Terrible way to fill a range. There's still an accumulation here to the upside. Yep, that's why I think the way it's moving even right now, I've seen this pattern before with fundamentals. Usually like price will trickle to the upside like this, create all that demand zones, and then when news comes out, it's just gonna come down like this. And then it's gonna take out all of these orders over here, all that structure. All this structure over here is gonna start breaking it. It's gonna break like, you know how wood breaks on Fortnite? When you're breaking the wood? This is how it's gonna break, like, and then price is gonna come down because that creates like an illusion, right? It creates like some kind of illusion that the buyers are gaining in strength, but it says Trojan horse here for the news, and then it's gonna come down and wipe these areas. That's what I'm expecting for today. Oh, Euro US dollar finally heading into profit. Nice. RVE with the higher time frames. This man has been holding trades since. Oh, and you're holding sells. What the hell is going on here? Finally heading. Oh, wow. Okay. I see. I thought this was a buy for some reason. Holy. Yeah, this is a martingale. You must follow the fundamentals, sir. Don't do this without knowing anything about Euro fundamentals, especially the Euro. Especially this manipulated currency here, the Euro. You can not know what fundamentals are doing. If you're going to be doing this, a daily time frame, man. It's a daily time frame. You got to know what's happening in the economy. Look at this. Price just moved up there. It's like equivalent to people maybe selling Bitcoin right now. You know, Bitcoin is good for price to move up because of the general economic environment of the pair. It's riskier to sell. You know, as we're breaking above certain areas, it's gaining in strength. The currency looks like it's doing pretty well. It's riskier to sell something like this on BTC. But Godspeed, sir. I think one of those martingales should be putting you in some good profit soon, hopefully. Hopefully one of these can really make up for them. Maybe you got like, how many drawdown? 1, 2, 3, 4. You got 4 and you have 3 positions here. Okay, nice. You got 3 positions here. So hopefully this is a sector which puts you into profit so you can start closing some of these trades. That could happen. What do you mean it's not 3 in one spot? That's where your TPs are. It says sell 0.05, 0.05, 0.05. Then you had a 0.03 down here. Couple of 0. Oh, what is this? I just zoomed in here. This is way more than 2. How many lines is this? 1. Can't even see those. Those are like all executed at the same time over here. So you can't even see it. It just looks like a block. I can only see 1, 2, 3. How many trades did you put in? Just out of curiosity, how many trades you put in? 1.1.11928 over there. How many trades is that? I don't know if you guys can see it on the stream though. There's like a block over here. A whole block. There are only 2 there? Really? Why does it look like that? Anyway. Oh, TP lines. Yeah, that makes sense. Had me worried there for a second. Like people who just scale into trades like crazy. Oh, look at this Lamborghini. Where did all my stuff go? Yeah, so now we're back at the top of the range. So I would be expecting price to actually push on downwards here. Push on downwards and they retest his lows. Surprisingly, it hasn't done that yet. It still kind of like came to this accumulation area here. I think what it did was it was basically taking out these previous buyers over here. You know, like stop losses were down below here. Then you just took out the buyers before it had an extension. Because, you know, sometimes people can also set their TPs a bit higher up. And let's say it misses by a little bit. So market will come to take them out and then hit their take profit later. So we're just kind of still reading the story of price. Whenever you read it like this, you kind of get a better understanding of what the market is going to be doing, going to do next. Nice little fake out over here too. Little accumulation grab. I mean, little liquidity spike into that 8 SMA. But it still needs to get above 33. But it's trying to build a case to move up. What indicators do I use? You can download them in the description box. I use kill zones and SMAs. Shocking, bro. It's the first day in what feels forever that we haven't used. This is the wildest week so far. Like in this whole year, this is the craziest week. Like the build up is insane, especially because we're having NFP twice this month. And we got NFP this weekend, FOMC. It's a wild week. ADP today. We got ADP and FOMC on the same day here. And then we got NFP on Friday. On top of that, we have rate decisions on Friday as well. The tariffs on Friday on the 1st. So this has been the wildest week this whole year so far. Crazy week. Do you ever use EMAs 50, 100, 200? No. I like the SMAs because the SMAs, they're more lagging than the EMAs. The EMAs are a little bit more, they're closer to price action, I feel. The SMAs kind of give it more space. I think what's EMA? Exponential moving average. But people love the EMAs. People really, I always say it's like I'm using SMAs, but people always say EMA for some reason. People love the EMAs. I don't know why. There's too many false signals with the EMAs. It's too close. Wednesday words of Wood's wisdom. Don't worry about what we want to happen. Worry about what's happening and capitalize off of it. Yes. That's nice. Just react to what's happening in the market, you know. Now worry about what you can't control. Worry about what you can control. Mic drop. Nightbot should actually have more words of wisdom. Words of wisdom. Words of wisdom will only invite me to a podcast when I show a Lamborghini. He's gonna say, oh, this guy doesn't have a Lamborghini, so we can't bring him on. I need to level up my trading social media game. Nah, I'm just joking. They're my fave. Nah, bro, I'm not gonna lie. I can prove a high win rate with EMA trading. I'm sure it works. You know, everything works in the market. It's just like you gotta find those pieces which work the best with your strategy. And the good thing is, like, I think when it comes to indicators, one is enough. You know, most of the time one is enough. The kill zones are just to help understand where the sessions are. But one should be enough, because if you start putting more than one, then you're gonna be trading based more off indicators and PA. Where's Donvu? Oh, Donvu? He's doing private streams. Donvu. Donvu is going to make his million again, and then he's going to come back onto YouTube once he makes what percent is he on right now? I think the last time I saw him, he said he was on 70% or something like that. So you know, Donvu, when we think about Donvu, we gotta think about he's a mastermind. You know, Donvu is like a Kanye West type of character. So I think what Donvu is gonna do, he's gonna get to 100%, and then he's gonna make his comeback onto YouTube. That's what I think. If you're watching this, Donvu, you know, all love. Love you, man. Reply to DMs more. Reply to the DMs. Teach you how to manage risk. What's this time over here? Yeah, this was the day I stopped using MetaTrader. I don't know if you guys ever get this problem over here. So I got a entry point not found. This is when I stopped using MT4. This started to happen, like it happened 2 times. You know, so I thought maybe something was wrong with MetaTrader. So that's why I went over to CTrader. But that never used to happen to me before. Where is Donvu? I thought I had a picture of him. Somewhere here. Me and him together. Me and you. Oh. So many things here. No picture. Let's ask Zoli here. When will Donvu return to YouTube? Alright, shuffling decks, mediating, cleansing the decks. Let's see. Shuffling the deck. Just a little bit longer, guys. You know, this one, we have to go deep for this one. We gotta go deep on this one. Let's go with the middle one. The long. Alright, so the ascent of market foretells a promising return, interwinded with the community support, possibly hinting at a revival sooner than one may expect. While the exact moment remains veiled, expect rejuvenation as the stars align in favor of Donvu's return. Awesome. Yeah, I think perfectly said here. So we must wait. We must remain focused until then. We must. If I gotta go now, need do something urgent. Thanks for your feedback. It helps me a lot. Welcome, Derek. Small little accumulation here too. That's building. Sells only below that wick. 33.29. Buys above maybe that 33.33 area looks pretty good. Needs to break above the zone. If it actually breaks, it could be a good this could be a good confluence. The fact that we'll be breaking above 33.33 for price to move up. So yeah, we gotta sit on our hands here, because the way the cells are looking on the higher time frames, they're no longer clean. Like this was a clean move, because you see how price moved up like a parabolically, and then it corrected it, like a little bit of that move. It corrected some of the range. Remember, you're trying to catch a little bit of this range. I'm sure that's 65% of the range which has been filled. Okay, not exactly 65, but this needs to be the candlestick body. Yeah, so we got candlestick body, so pretty much 65. I mean, you wouldn't take a loss just because of an additional 1 pip. So it just was pretty close to 65% over here. And then price retrace from 65% here back into this general zone. So this is a lot more cleaner. But if you look, it's completely different situation than what's happening here, because this is creating levels of support. So we no longer have that clean traffic that we did before down here. So this kind of makes it difficult for higher time frames to move down. You know, it can be quite tricky. So if you look at this range, let's say this range, we have about 14.8 pips. Pretty tight range. The only thing that can break through these levels, I would say, is a 1 minute play. Little accumulation from this area to break these. Like once we break the wick, confirm some momentum, you'd probably be off accumulation distribution. That's the only things which can, at least in my opinion, that can break. That has a better chance of breaking certain levels. You know, certain levels which are difficult. Just the same explanation that we gave, like what happened here with that little fake out situation above here, and then accumulated, broke below the lows. Then it can break these other zones. Hey Frankie, good morning, good morning. Oh, chat. So I included a new clip section on the channel as well. So if you want to clip the channel, then you can clip the channel. We have like a community section down over here. Top community clips down here. So it's like easier to see where they get clipped. So if you clip the videos, then you're gonna get them here on my homepage at the bottom here. We need to do another simulation on YouTube soon. Also in the WAP, also in the exclusive. This was 9 days ago. So I think we'll do it like in a couple of weeks. On YouTube. Alright, so it looks like PA is slowing down a little bit here. Nice little accumulation that's forming right now on the 1 minute. That could look good. Beautiful little kiss of death on the 15. Right here. Man, I don't know if I want to trade before FOMC. The market needs to open up a bit more. This is getting more and more compressed. I think it's about to do something aggressive on gold. I can sense it because look at how the candlesticks here are barcoding like this. This is about to do something aggressive. It might make a reach for 33.33 above that area and then fake back into the range. Oh, but this is interesting because you know it just created a new higher high here. Every time price creates a higher high towards its top ranges, it tends to pull back down. So for example, you can see right here, we did create a new higher high. This is a higher high over there that's been formed. Just the same way like we create higher highs here. See, that's a higher high, then it came down. Oh, we're trying to break any of these previous highs. You see how it broke this high and then it came down. And it's the same way as it breaks this high over here and then see how it comes down. So it's like it slightly this time broke above that high. So it kind of pulled down for a bit. But it's a different situation because it didn't get a solid break like these other ones. But what I'm anticipating is maybe a small little spike above. Oh, it's not yet forming a nice accumulation. Still needs to set up there. Yeah, I think that should be good. And then breaks above. I think what's going to happen is going to shoot above this area. That's what I'm anticipating. It's going to try and shoot above 33-ish. And then come down, like fake out. But there's definitely a fake out that's about to come in here. Got a nice little SMA confluence on the 5 minute here too. I really like that. Out of this resistance point. All right, trading. See you. See you. Take care. Take care. Stay safe. Nice little SMA cross there. Oh, but that 5 minute doesn't have a bottom wick. But anyway, you know, it's actually there's a tiny, really small, tiny bottom wick. Yeah, I want to see what's gonna happen here. I do anticipate there's definitely about to be some kind of volatile move that's about to happen here. Sheesh, look at this fake out right here. This was from that previous accumulation area. Price grabbed orders before. Man, that's so brutal. It took out some traders over here. before it moved down. Sheesh. Worst thing is it triggered people first. So it broke the lows first, and then this candlestick just had to come up here so it can close back as a bearish doji over here. So that was a pure grab just to have this small little move. And that was even a short-lived move because the price actually came back into this range. And then it barcoded here. Holy. Tsunami in Russia? I heard something about an earthquake. Someone sent me on WhatsApp something about this. I haven't yet opened it. Yeah, let me see here on my Instagram. Can you guys see it? It's a house shaking. So people on the floor. Cars are shaking. Look at that. Holy! Look at that car. Holy! That was actually a big earthquake. Man, this is insane. What magnitude was this? It looks like a 7 magnitude. Это нехорошо. Это очень страшно. Очень страшно для моих друзей, кто там живет в Russia. Powerful 8.7 magnitude earthquake near Russia triggers tsunami warnings in Hawaii and Alaska. Damn. Never hear about earthquakes in Russia. And they got that alert, that siren system in Hawaii too. Just waking up here on a Wednesday to a siren. The quake is the strongest on the planet since 2011. When a 9.0 earthquake hit northeast Japan. Oh. And that triggered a tsunami. So what's gonna happen here? So Russia, Japan, and Alaska have gotten tsunami warnings. What's gonna happen to the yen here today? You know, maybe the yen could move down in case something happens there. How long does it take for a tsunami to build up after an earthquake like that though? It's an 8, 8.1, 8.8. Yeah, we can round it off to 9. First tsunami waves hit Japan following powerful earthquake. Oh, there are the waves coming in. Coastal Hawaii areas ordered to evacuate. Man, what a crazy week this is. What kind of week is this? Now we also got this. Insane. It says 8.7 here. People are on top of roofs already. You know who I'm worried about? I'm worried about Yard from Texas. We haven't seen Yard from Texas since they also got like a flooding over there in Texas. This is live feed. Live tsunami waves in Japan after earthquake off Russia. Yo, that's actually, I guess, I don't know. I don't know how normal it is for this beach to look like this, but it's kind of scary to think that there could be like a tsunami coming in anytime. Because it's kind of pushing strong. It looks like it's pushing up the coastal line a bit more aggressively. But I wouldn't be surprised if maybe even water just naturally comes onto this side, but still. That's freaky. Holy. Russia sees some waves too. Flooding China also. What is that? Yared Rubio. What is this architect? The water should be sacked back before. Oh yeah, that's true. Actually, you're right. The water should be sacked up first, right? It should go inland and then come heavy in. Is that, can we say that's 100% hit rate? That's for tsunami to happen. It needs to go in first and then come out. Yeah, so this is over here in Japan. Gotta monitor this. You know, throughout the day, something could happen. I think gold is doing that. Okay, so it looks like it did. Man, that's brutal. It looks like it did a small little fake out below this area over here, and it's trying to pump up again. It's like very volatile PA right now. Godzilla! You see some big wave come out from the ocean. Seeing patterns everywhere. $708 people watching. CNBC. A good opportunity to fish. All right. Let's keep up with the news here, chat. Let's keep up with the news a bit. 8.7 earthquake near Russia here is in how do I remove these subtitles? Kamchatka. Oh, dirty move by gold. Very dirty move. It just did a small... It basically took out the buyers here, you know, because I thought price was going to break from this area into 33.33. But it looks like it did a little sneaky ass move here to take out the buyers first and then move up. Classic gold. See, now, so this was the area I anticipated we're heading above 33.33 was from this zone. Let me just clean this up a bit more. From this area, you see? So it did the break. It did confirm it. But then it came down to take out the lows before it had its move up. Very unfortunate. Let me see how big the stop would have been here. About... Yeah, it pushed in about 4.5 pips. Maybe with a 1 pip stop loss. About 3 pips. 3.5. Okay, nothing really looks too extreme at the moment, to be honest, with what's happening here. Oh, these boats are soon gonna be damaged. Imagine having a boat out here and you know there's tsunami coming and you can't do anything. What are you gonna do with the boat? You know, where are you gonna put it? You just gotta leave it here. Look at this. Look at this smartass. Got a small little fishing boat out here. Oh, we got another one here. I think they're heading inland. Yeah, chat. So something like this can really move the yen. You know, we might even see a strong reaction on GJ. You know, the pound yen. Pound could be skyrocketing up above. It could start moving up for the day. But as of right now, it doesn't seem like anything really major is happening. He's more safe than anyone, bro. What, the guy in the middle? In the water? Looks heavy. Do you see price sweeping 3,300? No, right now is the only thing I was anticipating was a break above 33.33. It's like the way price is acting right now, it's also not super surprising that it did a little fakey below here because price is quite compressed right now. So I'm still expecting some sort of volatile move. So I was expecting a move from this area up above 33.33 and then fake back into the range. Because I think this is the range that I'm anticipating. We're going to hold this certain area over here, you know, until the Fomc. And then any new higher highs are just pullbacks. Because price is slowly creating new higher highs, new lower highs as well. But there's a lot of uncertainty with this progression. It's like when you're walking in the dark, you know, when you're walking in the dark and you're just being very slow and careful. That's what gold is doing right now. So yeah, now we're just moving above 33.33 here. Potentially to rip back into the range. I like before starting stream. Your stream is awesome. Thank you, Studies Corner. I appreciate it. Yeah, that water needs a retracement before it goes bullish. Hey, that's a good one. Yeah, it does. It needs a little Fibonacci retracement into that golden zone where the tectonic plates meet. That's going to be the golden zone area over there. And then price can come on in for the continuation. Man, yeah, it's wild, man. It's wild. The way nature and markets harmonize like this. And, you know, it's like the market's a really good reflection of that too. As much as candlesticks just moving upwards sideways, I mean sideways, bullish or bearish, they do have these other dimensions in them. Like Fibonacci retracements. This sort of things that you don't really see in the candlesticks. Psychology as well. You don't typically, it's hard to see psychology in candlesticks unless you know what you're doing, unless you have some experience and you have some sort of like way of looking at markets. Yeah, man, but without retracement there, I'm gonna be probably seeing some extension levels being hit. Question is, how far inland are those extension levels going to be before we see that profit taking? This is why, you know, screw a beachfront property. I'll be happy with a skyrise apartment. Because all those beachfront properties, they're just going to be underwater. And especially over there in Miami and stuff. You know, so expensive. You guys seen Gordon Ramsay's house in Miami? So beautiful. Like you look out of the kitchen and you're just seeing these monster California waves. But now imagine like once, you know, global warming starts to hit properly, those houses are going to be underwater. Such an awesome house that guy has. Look at this. Look at this. I'm going to put this here. He did a cooking thing with Selena Gomez. But man, just look at this view. Look at that like ocean up there. So sick, huh? So sick. This looks like the house from Billions. This looks like Axelrod's crib. If you watch, I think was season 1. Axelrod's house by the beach. Insane. You can see how windy it is out there. If you guys haven't watched Billions, definitely watch Billions. Awesome series. I think this was Axelrod's house by the beach in Billions. Never knew this guy was British. When I heard him speak in an interview, I was really surprised. These British actors, they do American accents so properly. Like even the Spider-Man guy. Also, that guy is British. Forgot his name. Also, Tom Holland is British. Man, but they all do American accents so nicely. This guy's British. Tom Holland's British. But OG to Peter Parker over here. This is the OG Spider-Man. Out of all Spider-Mans, this guy is my favorite though. The OG. Alright, so here's the breakie above 33.33. Oh, yeah, Damson Idris. Damson Idris Alba. Oh, Damson Idris, this guy. Yeah, Snowfall was pretty good. Alright, so here comes a break. But with this break, I'm thinking there's going to be a strong pullback now. A fake out on the next candles. But we're just about to get the new hourly open here. So next hourly open, I'm anticipating that's going to fake back into the range. So we're finally breaking. I was starting to break. You know, 33.33 is a pretty strong psychological mark. So look at the way candle is trying to break above 33.33 here. Because this is an area that we rejected. Look, 1, 2, 3. Look at the way it's hovering here by 33.33. Psychological resistance. About to get the new 1 minute open. I mean, 1 hour open. I anticipate the hourly candle is going to rip down. It's going to become a whip over here. Because I don't see price really trending anywhere. You know, personally, right now, this is at 5 a.m. candlestick. I'm not expecting price to trend anywhere significant prior to at least ADP, you know? Let's see what happens here. You know, if price starts to move, and if it does move above this consolidation area, then maybe that could give some opportunities for later. But I'm not expecting it to move anywhere. Gotta get a close above this area. It's not even to do with what it needs to close. It's just a lot to do with what's happening today. You know, so this is not even technically, it's gonna have a less of a hit rate with the technicals alone. It's just like a lot of waiting today for news. See, I'm expecting a big fakey because this candlestick was also really huge. This was like 50, 60 pips. Oh, this guy from the house. Man, I thought he was American too. Yeah, he's pretty convincing. Like Hollywood outsourcing all of these actors now. You know what surprised me the most though was when I learned that Barney from How I Met Your Mother was gay. Imagine that, Barney Stinson. That was also surprising. Man, if you tell me he's British too, that's... Barney Stinson. OG show. Yeah, we're in a brainstorming mood here. You know, charts are dry. We can only like see what we're expecting here from the market, and you know, this is like Christmas Day for the market. You know, we're just kind of like waiting and waiting and waiting. And I think there's a lot of risk off today, you know, just generally speaking. Of course, you can get a few trades here and there. To be honest with you, the cleanest PA I've seen so far is when we just came onto stream, but I was not expecting it to be that clean because the pre-London time was also, if you talk about generally speaking, it consolidated, right? And then with the London Open, at least you had some swings here and there. You got some swings here and there. And then there's also this one that happened during the Asia, this little Asia swing here. But for the most part, you can see there's a lot of general consolidation. But you got like a few opportunities, generally speaking, here, and yeah, just about maybe two. That swing here and this swing's here. That swing entry on London, I think it was 2 to 3 pips from 65% zone. Swing entry on London. Oh yeah, this one. This was like, yeah, exactly. That was about like, I saw 1 pip. 1 pip to that 65% zone. If I draw it from candlestick body here to where that wick is formed. So pretty close. That's why I said you're not gonna take an L based off of like 0.9, 1 pip, you know, but it came close to that area. So you just try and get a small chunk, you know, like this is the move, and you just want to catch even half of that move. You know, when price extends like this, that's all that you're trying to catch from the market. You don't need the whole move, but you can see the potential of the whole move. That it has to continue coming down towards like, you know, 33.23, but you don't need the whole move. Why'd you need the whole move? Just the same way as we took the sell here yesterday. You know, I'm just looking for a small piece of the move. You don't need the whole move, even though it has potential to come all the way down, which it actually did. Man, insane. Look at how it came and retapped these entries. Sniper entries, and then just pulled all the way down. So these are those repeatable patterns. So how many times have we already mentioned this, guys? Like how market and how you can never really miss a move. Like in terms of this perspective, you know, our markets always come into the entry and then like play out. Correct? Come into the entry and then play out. It's been happening so often. Most times it happens like this. Then you see it still fills the range down towards like 33.12. So that was a trade from yesterday. And look, even my trade this morning, it did pretty much the same thing. Because when you have a strategy, you can see these patterns a lot more clearly. You see how it comes in like this? It just retests. It never like puts a huge drawdown. It's usually like a small retest within that general zone and then continues in that direction. It's just something that happens, you know? It's just, we can call it a probability. There's a good probability that something like that is going to happen. You know what the stats for that probability is? I don't know. But I do see it happen quite often. Maybe I guess like, you know, 30+% of the time, 35% of the time, something like that can happen. Maybe more. Need some blue chews? Yeah, Barney was a womanizer. Oh, you're in season 6 of Billions now? Just got a season and a half to finish. I want to download a Breaking Bad. Watch it from the beginning. I've been considering it because Jesse Pinkman, I think, is a pretty good actor. Want to give it a second chance. But it is a good series. It is a good series. Also, that guy, that actor, I also like that guy. You know, because of if you grew up with Malcolm in the Middle, Malcolm's dad. Yeah, he's also a pretty good actor. Yes, no, maybe. I don't know. Can you repeat that? Like, I don't know. Like, shows today are just not. They're just not doing it for me. I really hate the new shows nowadays. They're like, Hollywood is really missing a lot. So I've just been going back to old stuff. But yeah, let's see over here. Hourly is breaking above. We created a bottom wick on the hourly. Oh, this looks like it might get a continuation. But for continuation, we need to break above these highs at least by 33.34. It needs to get through 33.34. That price can move up, but it's moving up into resistance here. It's like a 23 pip range. Again, that's why I think for me overall, I would just prefer to see price come back into the zone, accumulate here a bit more, and then have a move for ADP. But even with the ADP, usually with the ADP, I'm not really even expecting that much volume from ADP because, you know, ADP is like pre-NFP. So we also don't typically expect the same sort of action that we get from the non-farm payrolls. But here we're expecting good numbers for the dollar, which is actually really nice because previous numbers was negative 33K. So there's a pretty high probability that we're going to get higher than previous, maybe even higher than forecast. But we're expecting good numbers over here. So for the dollar, it's going to be good. And for gold, it's going to be bearish for ADP. So this is a pretty high probability that we're going to come out of the negatives. As you can see, even previously, how the numbers have been coming out. This is the first time we've been in negative since the previous ADPs. The last time we were negative was in, man, look at this, December 6, 2023. Since December 6, 2023, we still hadn't seen a negative number. So this is a good fundamental because there's a high probability that we're getting out of the negatives, you know, statistically speaking. When was the last time we were in negative, chat? Look at this. I don't see. Okay, last time we were in negative was February 2nd, 2022. Was the last time we were in negative. So, man, I think we're definitely expecting good numbers here for the ADP, and gold should move down. So, you know, for that time, I'm going to be expecting a push downwards on gold. What else we got? Advanced GDP, not too important. I think you're going to be looking at the ADP anyway. FOMC statement. That's what's going to be next after the ADP. And then Bank of Japan policy rate. So, and we have the tsunami in the background. So be very, very cautious. Thanks for the 100 likes. Prefetch M, thank you for the sub, man. Appreciate the sub. Head and shoulders on DXY 5 minute. Gold stay bullish before news. This is coming into the gulag, chat. I want to see this pull back into this range. But in terms... Oh, look at this. GJ might be moving up. GJ is thinking, when is that tsunami going to hit? If the water retraces... If we see that retracement happen, then I think also you're going to start to see something like GJ go up. Also, you know what's going to happen? As the water is retracing in Japan, you're also going to see on the currency strength meter here a retracement. You know, so as the water is retracing, also this is going to be retracing. In line with the universe. It's going to retrace. And then as that's retracing, this one is going to be coming up. Pound's going to be coming up like this. Maybe. Maybe not. But GJ should be moving up. So I think a bunch of traders here are going to be looking very closely at such events. The Miss Watanabes of Japan are going to be looking at such events. I think they're called Miss Watanabes. That's the name given to female retail traders or female retail traders called in Japan. They're called Miss Watanabe. Miss Watanabe. This term is used as a collective name for a group of individual investors, primarily housewives who engage in foreign exchange trading from their homes. They gained prominence in the late 1990s and early 2000s, so there's significant impact on currency markets, particularly the Japanese yen. So we're going to have a lot of the Miss Watanabes. They're going to be looking to execute here today. Apparently in Japan, it's getting a lot more popular to start, like there's a lot more offices to do with trading. I don't know what you call them, funds. There's a lot more funds on the come up. A lot more people getting into the markets. The Ichimoku cloud. Man, I remember, you guys remember the Ichimoku cloud? That strategy looked really cool, but I never learned how to use it. What's the effect on Tsunami on gold? On gold, it's hard to say because, you know, the gold is driven by the US dollar. So if it's not affecting any US currency, then I think gold is just going to stay the same. It's just going to wait for whatever it is, you know, for the fundamentals we're waiting for the day. So nothing's going to happen on gold. Because Tsunami is affecting Russia, it could affect the Russian currency. It's affecting Japan. And it said Hawaii. But Hawaii is not... It's like America, but it's not America. So nothing. So nothing. My trading view is kind of lagging a bit. Let me see if there's any setups here. So we're hovering at 33.33. You can see how that's holding some sort of relevance. You can remove that zone, clean up the chart work a bit more. But you see how we're holding this area? Still currently holding 33.33. See a 5 minute. Nothing good on the 5 minute. Because you got too many levels of support again. Right here. Then you got this really big wick. You see it's taking out most of the space from this area. So you have nothing there too. If you go on the 1 minute, there was some plays, some really aggressive console play over there that happened. But that's the only thing that could spot out from like taking any sort of positions was this little move here. That little retracement to correct some of this move. So it corrected some of that move here. Clean range with clean range. V-shape reversal. And now it's like a bit random over here. But you see, like even on the 1 minute, since then we only had one move here, which broke above. Still played out, but it did a little fakey over here unless you had your stop below this area. Did a little liquidity grab here and then pushed up. And then here it also did the same thing here. So it kind of like mirrored itself. Like whatever happened here, but it happened in two different ways. Because the market's not always going to be perfect. So you actually got one happen here too. The accumulation, then broke out, corrected some of this range. Nice little V-shape reversal. It's like the same thing that happened here. But it happened on a much bigger scale. But this had an accumulation, a fake out above, a V-shaped reversal. Such as this. Accumulated, fake out above, V-shaped reversal, distributed, V-shaped reversal. Also, this gave a beautiful accumulation play from down here. Damn, this was a nice one. Let's see how big the stop was. Break of these highs. About like 14.6. Whoa. Look at this. Clean range on the left-hand side. Price still did its breakout situation here. Very nice. Also got head and shoulders one right here. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Distributed downside. Beautiful one right here too. And look at this. Break above. Oh, but this did a little fakey first. But let me see. You can survive these kind of fakies. These are not this is not a big deal. It just slightly broke the wick. So not a big deal here. Small little fakey, but then it still moved up. So this is still fine. And so many of these plays. So many of these plays here. And I got another one right here. Nice little SMA confluence. SMA crossover. Distributed to the upside. Got one right here. This one created a fakey first. Took out liquidity and then dumped down. Then you got one here. This are the buys that we called out. And then, you know, played out and then came down to take out the lows. Took out the lows and then moved up again. Because it said, I don't want you guys to be in this trade anymore. So I'm going to take you out first and then I'm going to move up. So that's what they said. That's what the market did. It took them up and then moved up. It moved up. And then now here it's just like, yeah, nothing. Back into the zone. Is there a way you can clean up? Yeah, let's go on app cache. Oh, we got a relaunch. Let me try and relaunch. Yeah, I want to see this thing come back in here. It's having quite a difficult time with 33.33. What's up all? Are you guys using future symbol GCAUG? Ninja Trader keeps switching me to DEC. I'm on I'm just trading gold spot here. But futures and gold should move the same, but maybe someone could answer that. But MT5 have an issue why I can't see my entry. Let's see. Hawaii tsunami warning downgraded to advisory. Okay, nice. Yeah, it doesn't seem like much is happening there. Now. See what the count is on here. 1519. Buy the rumors. Sell the weight. Guys, it's about to bounce back. XYX to the moon. Plus 3000% return. FX blue relative currency strength. This is what you use. Is it better than my Chinese indicator though? How does yours compete? Medium term. Oh, you got short term. So you got short term here, medium term, and long term. And you got gold, XAU. Let's see what it's saying. USD is weak. Yeah, same thing as this one. Same thing. Let's see, pound, weak. Ooh, this one says pound is strong. So what kind of long term is this? Let's see, medium term. It still says pound is weak. This one says pound is strong. Oh, something's not adding up here. Why is the trade visible as an overlay? Because whenever I'm in a trade, then you can see if I'm in a trade. So you don't have to ask me like if I'm in a trade. So then usually, oh, I gotta move it here a bit. Because then you can see like if I execute on a trade, you're gonna see the trade pop up over here. But you see right now I'm not in a trade. I've only taken one trade today, which was a sell on gold. Yeah, but look at this. Short term, medium term, long term. FX blue. Let's go on XRP. I think we did some analysis on XRP, it looks like. What do we say? Just buy XRP. Just buy that she. Buy that she stop loss to these lows. Because what's the probability that price goes all the way down towards like 27 over here? Oh man, but look at this. Insane black swan event here on XRP. This was in December or January, or let's say December, or let's say January 2018. Insane move on XRP. Let's say December 2017. Look at this. Black Swan event, December 2017. Where were you on December 2017? What were you doing? There was another Black Swan event that happened here. This was April 2021. Really nice push up. And then it's just been pumping. It's like been slowly but surely pumping here. Man, but it's the best for the people who got in. This was around a little accumulation breakout as well. Little SMA confluence in there too. This is on the weekly time frame. So you can see, man, TFX concepts, they work. You know, they work. They work because that's how the markets move. They're always going to move these three directions. Man, but this was insane. This was in November 2024. So you never missed a move. Look at this. People are going to see something like this and they're always going to think, oh, I missed a move. Oh, I missed a move. And then the market gives you even a better opportunity over here. December, as early as November 2024, XRP just completely skyrocketed up. That's insane. Anybody holding XRP, this is, man, this is amazing. That was a really nice pump over there. So for something like this, I would obviously be trading off the higher time frame. So I wouldn't delve into the lower time frames much. But what I'm going to say is right now is not a good time to buy XRP because it's already in a distribution phase over here. It's already been moving up. So you'd ideally want to be getting in situations like where price is kind of flatlining a bit more so you can get a fair price and then, you know, price can continue moving in that direction. So you kind of miss a bus over here, you know. So I think for people who would like investing in these things, they would have like put their orders in here and then wait for XRP to create its new higher highs. So you just have to wait. Maybe price is going to give you a retracement, maybe a re-entry of sorts, and then it can continue to move upwards. I bought XRP before Trump got elected and made 400% profit. Wow, amazing. Maybe I should do that. Why am I spending so much time here to make 170% and it's taken me 7 months risking 1 to 2% per trade? Maybe I just need to get one of these trades and then have that do all the heavy lifting. But you know, the hardest thing is it's so much harder to trade like this because, you know, when is the next Black Swan event? When is the next push going to be? Right now, I'm not seeing any fair prices on XRP. These are pretty high over here. These are really high prices. I don't have anything on my watch list which can make that move. We have, this is platinum. Platinum against the dollar. Anybody trade platinum in the chat? Because platinum right now is also at like some all-time highs. I think platinum had an amazing last quarter. Platinum created all-time highs. The biggest candlestick platinum has ever had was last quarter. You know, what a time to be alive. Look at this. In all of TradingView history here, up until April 2015, we haven't had a quarter like we did on platinum last quarter. And it's just been moving up over here. It's breaking away from, again, accumulation setup. Orders, fair value. This is like my fair value gap. So I have my fair value gap over here. And then price broke above and distributed. So I think that was a very nice move. So congratulations if you trade platinum, because that happened recently. Man, the market's so funny. It's like you're always missing the moves by such a little time. Every time you're looking on a chart and really looking for something, it's like you're missing the move by a little bit. Let's see Tesla. Tesla hasn't done anything, but also Tesla is in accumulation phase right here. So this is like a fair value for Tesla. Question is whether that company is even valued at anything higher than what it is right now. Because, you know, electric cars have always existed since Nikola Tesla. But do people want to drive electric cars right now? You know, does it make sense? Most of the world is not going to be driving electric cars. GJ is finally breaking above. Might be anticipating that tsunami in Japan. Honestly, low key. Might even see that daily flip over here back into the overall range. What's a black swan event? A black swan event is those really big moves, you know, that happen and people make a lot of money on, and you get very lucky with those moves. Like GME, for example. So remember Game. You should watch this movie called Dumb Money. It's such a nice movie. Seth Rogen is in it. It's quite funny as well. It's all about GME and like dumb money concepts. So, you know, this is like a black swan event. You get some dumb money people on Reddit. They say, oh, this thing is going to the moon. Is Reddit guys, and then you have something like this and everybody's making money. You know, this is like a black swan event. Look at this thing. You gotta trade like this. Mostly people in these types of moves, they invest like ridiculous amounts of their capital. You know, basically full porting their accounts. Full porting their accounts in a belief of something happening for XY reasons. You know, it's like a black swan event. Or like if you watch the movie The Big Short, The Big Short's like a black swan event on the retail bubble bursting. The internet bubble is a black swan event. Things like that. The 1 minute on gold. Let's see, 1 minute. Oh yeah, 1 minute on gold here is distributed. Holy!
Why are you running? Why are you running?
That's a sharp decline. Push, how many pips is this? Oh, close to 8 pips. Yeah, gold is trying to move from this area over here. Expecting it to break out. It's really, you know, that's the thing I'm saying. Like that 33 level is quite a strong level. It is quite a strong resistance or psychological resistance over here. See, price consolidated right next to 33, and now it's starting to break below lows, and you get some sign of selling volume coming in. And I'm expecting price to melt. I think price is coming back into this range. That's why I said on the hourly, this to me just looked like a fake out. You know, with all the resistance we have here, that we still would need to break this highs, but still, you know, this is most likely a fakey in line with that ADP as well. And man, for me, I'm still bearish on gold until otherwise. I want to see if I get a sell, then I'm really more confident in my sells. COVID was a black swan? Yes. COVID was a black swan. That oil going into negative was a black swan. Nvidia was a black swan. So like even now, as we're approaching, you know, the end of this year, there's always room for more black swans, especially with Trump. And, you know, pay attention to Trump. He likes to talk about companies. Trump, from time to time, he talks about companies. And when he talks about those companies, you know, price is going to go up. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more months for this whole year to end. So it's all about locking in. You know, if you really want a black swan, I think you can catch one. It's just about locking into the fundamentals. Because again, it's the fundamentals which are going to move the markets. Don't look at black swans in terms of just the technicals. Because something looks good. Because it's consolidating at a low price. China and the US still important trade partners. Two sides exchange views on the US company's development in China. If this tsunami could be a black swan, in fact, right under our noses. You know, if that tsunami does end up building up, it could be a black swan. But you know, be careful with the tsunami. Like there was tsunami, I think in 2011 on the yen, and that made the yen go up. Instead of making it go down, the yen moved up. It did the opposite. It moved up to price in the shorts. So I think it was gonna affect the market too much, so it moved up instead. And then it moved down. But look at this beautiful accumulation distribution. A little bit of a fakey over here too. Fakey, little accumulation, awesome. Retested entries a little bit, and then continue to move down over here. Very nice. At 33 level. That one is Luke called this one out. Hung Hee Su, thank you for the sub. Appreciate it. Yeah, now price can move down, you know? Now it can move down here a bit. Heading down towards 33.29. Very easy. TFX concepts are so simple, guys. So simple. Look at this. This is everything we've been talking about here today. About the way these previous setups here have been playing out too. What's the difference between a black swan and a bull/bear run? A bull/bear run can be something like, if we get the cuts on the US dollar interest rate cuts, that's going to be a bull run on gold. Right? A bull run towards all-time highs. And that's usually like gradual, and it has more to do with like what we already expect from the economy. Whereas a black swan event is unexpected and it's volatile. You know, it can just move up straight upwards, parabolically straight upwards. But bull run or bear run, you know, those are gradual progressions. Black swan, it's like consolidate, then all of a sudden it just does this. And skyrockets to like crazy numbers. If you go to Dodge and put the chart in logarithmic scale, it looks like a very nice clean range. And make it weekly time frame. Send in a chart here on Discord. That sounds a bit like rocket science. I don't know how to put the chart in logarithmic scale. Logarithmic. That sounds difficult. GBP CAD and GBP USD is going up. So GBP is probably strong because of that. Call it a day. Secured today. Let FOMC play out. Catch. Oh, nice one, Ellie. Nice one, Ellie. Oh man, this thing is a runner. Sheesh. Bombaclot.
Bombaclot.
Gold 33k6. Thank you for the sub. It seems you have more of a subjective bias on gold today instead of following what the price is doing. It's obviously trying to retrace to the upside while facing some resistance. Why so bearish? Because the market is doing one thing but it means something else. That's how I feel it. It's for you, it's showing, yeah, it's creating new higher highs, correct? But for me, it's showing something different. You know, it's a psychology of the way the candlesticks are even creating those higher highs. So I'm quite subjective on price until otherwise, you know. For me, like I've been more comfortable with these shorts. Like even if you look at the daily time frame, what's been happening here on the daily? Trade what you see, know what you feel. What's been happening here? Since Wednesday, what's been happening? This is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Monday. You know, we're just at the bottom of the range here. We've created a small support on the previous daily, but that doesn't mean anything. You know, one support like that doesn't mean anything. And what's happening is with the whole fundamental space, it's not looking good for gold, to be honest. And, you know, we've already talked about this. Rate cuts are going to remain unchanged, so no reason for price to move up on gold. You got even ADP numbers here expecting to come out positive from the negative, mind you. So it's a pretty high probability it's going to come out of negative from the previous to a positive. Correct? Pretty high probability. We just saw the stats. We've just gone through the stats. The last time we had negative numbers was like a few years back. So, you know, what's the probability then we come out positive? It's pretty high. So that's going to be good for the dollar. And then that's again adding on to the bearish sentiment on gold. So there's a few things in play like this. And also clearly we are struggling to move up, and that's, you can see that price is struggling to move up, and there's reasons for this because I think it's going to be a really big fake out. But again, anything in the market can happen. I'm just more comfortable with sells, at least for the London session. I'm more comfortable with sells. Because with the London, I found like counter trending the London it's been difficult. It's been really difficult to counter trend the London sessions. But you know, the issue with today is we don't also have a trend today. Market's moving sideways. So again, it's like not as straightforward. Even though there are setups that we're calling and that we can see, it's not as straightforward. There's a lot of like sideways movement here, especially since yesterday into today. But you can catch a move. You can catch a move. Take profit 2, signal complete. Crazy. Alright, see you later, Mr. Woods. Adios, amigos. Sude. Paka. Das vidanie. Au revoir. Choose, cheers, or in Germany they say choose, juice. Auf Wiedersehen. Tutaonana in Swahili. Tutaonane. Yeah. One time. 33.33 versus 33.30, which is more powerful. Oh yeah, I think 33.33. This level I've been having all week. All week I've been having some, well, not all week, but I've been seeing quite some reactions off that 33.33. And I think we even spoke about 33.33 on the fundamentals here. But these were older fundamentals. We're looking at 33.33 as a key mark. You normally get these kind of like, I guess, expert analysis, if you want to call it that, on TradingView. Sometimes it gives you where the key marks or psychological marks are going to be in the market. So we saw 33. Oh yeah, Tuta Patana. That's good. That's easier to say. Tutapatana kesho. But now it's like I think what I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna wait. Now as we're approaching the pre-New York time, that's gonna be in the next 20 minutes. I wanna wait. I'm gonna wait and see something like this happen. I wanna see maybe candlesticks come down, kind of like open up like what it did here previously, and kind of give me some sort of direction. But it's tricky to say before ADP. Best thing to do is sit on your hands, honestly, unless you see something that's really obvious, kind of really obvious trade come your way. Just sit on your hands, because you know this is the trenches. Unless you're good at trading the trenches, then you gotta sit on your hands. There's a really nice confluence there. Choose. Like saying moon with tight lips. I want to get into a trade to scratch my itch. Well, we've been calling out trades. I think the last trade to play out was this move here, but I didn't see this one. But this one was called out. But that's in distribution. That's paid off traders here. So it still needs to set up. What could be happening if you want to scratch a niche? I would say there's a pretty good probability here for this range to break out. But it needs to break like, oh, that's a tricky thing. This is a pretty long wick over here. But it needs to break a certain area. Like here, that price can move down, because you see it's like a liquidity grab situation up over here. You got some clean range below support from here to here. So this range is, you know, like 16.3 pips. It's never a good idea to scratch itches though. But not in trading at least. But yeah, something like this. If you get a tighter stop loss or some structure on the 1 minute, that would be much better. Only stop loss is above here, unless you put it back in the range as it breaks these lows over here to accumulate downwards. It's quite of an annoying wick, you know, because you could take this one theoretically, but you'd want to see this one really get broken, because if you can break that wick, you're gonna have clean range to 33.27. But I think that's what price wants to do right now. I think it wants to move more downwards, but we need to break key wick zones down over here, because this is the new accumulation that we're currently sitting in. You can see prices being a little bit volatile right now. It's acting a bit aggressively. So, you know, just be careful. But I think there's definitely like some kind of sell idea below 33.29.78-ish over here with this like tiny little bit of range. Because now we're consolidating. This becomes, at least as of now, this is looking like a no trade zone. Here. Yeah, backtest to scratch the itch. Or you can paper trade. You know, paper trading is also nice. For me, I've just been paper trading. You know, paper trading helps me scratch the itch. So I look at these moves and I say to myself, like, okay, so imagine I'm in this move right now. You know, imagine I'm in these moves right now. What would I do? How would that look like? And the better it is you get at paper trading, you know, when you're scratching those itches, you can then come onto trading view here. You can go on the leap. You can join the leap over here. And then you can make some money by paper trading. You see, last time the first place prize got 8,500. Second place got $7,000. Third place, $6,000. Fourth place, $5,000. These are all paper trades. $3,500. I see the most profitable trade for those who made. And you know the good thing about paper trading? A lot of you guys say, oh, I can't hold my trades. But guess what? On a paper trade, you're going to hold your trade because it's not a real trade. You know, so you're not going to have that same emotional attachment like you have on your usual trades. So who knows? The biggest successful trade was $29,528. Damn, that is crazy. But obviously, you know, paper trade. $29,000. 27, 26, 24. The flawless run, highlighting traders who completed the entire competition without a single unprofitable order, claiming prizes. So Diego earned a profit of $54,000. But you know, the question is like, how big is the account size? How many trades did they take? Because you can have an unprofitable without a single unprofitable order if it's just one trade. You know, one big bumper clot. Oh, that's paper trading something here. What happens if you click it? Oh, I don't have one. Strategy tester, replay trading. I don't have paper trading. That's weird. That's weird. But yeah, we're just holding this range as of now. This is a new range. It's about, this range here is about 44 pips. 44 pips, so we're just moving sideways. And with that psychological market, 33.33. That's it. These are the key zones as of now. As we're heading towards pre-New York time in the next 10 minutes, these are the key areas market's looking at. And I'm anticipating it's actually looking to break these lows to continue to push downwards. Because we're also at the top of the range. Let's look at the hourly. Because the hourly, I was still expecting a fake out from the hourly. Because, you know, every time the hourly create new higher highs, it pull down. Higher high, pull down. Higher high, expecting it to pull down. But we need to re-break these lows. Hourly is about to close here in the next 10 minutes. Maybe it's the next hourly that opens up like this and then pushes back into the gulag. But overall, yeah, I do not see price moving anywhere until at least you get some ADP volume. Maybe you're going to have a few moves here and there, but overall direction is probably not coming in until the ADP news or maybe even up until the FOMC. But the next short-term moves are coming in below these regions over here. As of now, that's what I'm looking at. Potentially. But yeah, I think I'm going to end off the stream here, guys. Be careful. Don't overtrade. Watch out for the news today. We got tsunamis on the horizon as well. So, you know, all of these things could affect the markets. And take care, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow, 3 a.m. Eastern for the London session open. Adios.